Yeah. Can you see that from here? $32. 7.9 gallons. And I know a lot of you put $100 in your tank, but that's how much fuel costs. This is freaking, dude. I still had 2 bars. I still had 2 bars of fuel. Then I had to go up there to Tulare. I went up to Tulare to look at that freaking car. Not only that, but I freaking handed the dude $10 for his time, right? And you know, that car, it's probably effed up, right? Who's gonna sell a car for that cheap? There's probably something wrong with it. So I'm like, well, let me see what else is out here. Well, it's not listed no more, so obviously he sold it, right? I mean, that's dirt cheap for a car. But, you know, I wasn't, down with handing somebody, that kind of cash. I wasn't down with handing somebody that kind of cash, sitting in a parking lot when the name on the pink slip doesn't match his name. He never even bothered to show me the registration. He says, "Oh, I'm going to show you the registration," right? Then when he walked up there, the first thing he said was, how much did I say I was selling it for?" Or something like this. I should have said 1,100. See what he says. But I thought I was going to take it home right then, and so was kind of spacing out, with this freaking skull. So I'll show you the skull, and you use your best judgment and see if you think it's voodoo. Right? Who would bring a freaking skull? Why would the dogs bring a freaking skull and put it right there? Would a dog do that? Well, I'll show it to you. And there have been cars driving by there lately, right? Cars never drive through there. Once in a blue moon. But like last night they did, and today they did. Isn't that strange? And so it's not too cold outside, The rained, and so I'll probably, when the sun comes up, I'll put that tarp over the top of the trailer. But it's not too cold tonight. Just some things are not really available here in this little one-horse town, and I didn't want to drive all the way to Coalinga because I don't want to put too much miles on this car. Basically just to get to work once I find work, and that's it, right? So, you know, so I've been looking at both cars, and I've been looking at the electric cars. There's one dude who has a car right now, and it seems up and up, and it even has, you know, has some really good features that would really, I'd benefit by these features. And I could get that car, but I could get another car that's way, way better, right? And but it costs 4 times more. Well, no, this one costs twice as much as that one. So you know what's going on with the stock market right now, right? The whole freaking, everything's haywire. You know, I put Papa Duck up on my Facebook because he came out and said it straight, right? I mean, I know this, but I told you already, you know, to me, I'm like, you know, more power to the dude, because he's freaking destroying this place, dismantling it, good and bad. He's wiping it all out. And well, nobody else has ever done that. Well, it's not him that's doing it. It's the powers. It's the people with the power. It's their. It doesn't matter which ones go through there. They have their agenda that they want to do. And I mean, I know this. And you know, they've been psychologically diagnosed as clinically psychopaths. Okay? And I know this, but I'm not, you know, out there telling the people this and this and this and this about it, because I'm like, you know, go for it, to the point that they're just gonna freaking drop the big one, and then these mofos, then maybe they'll freaking stand up and do something. Right now they are just so slothful and just pathetic. Nothing will wake their ass up. But I went ahead and I posted it anyway, because it's the truth, and this is theology. This is what, hey, people who came into the room, thanks for leaving a comment. I thought I was talking to myself. And it's so late, I didn't expect to see anybody on here. The only people that's going to be here in here is probably people from other countries, like the UK. It's 8 o'clock in the morning right now in the UK, and right here it's midnight. And so good to see that somebody's listening. It looks like the same person over and over again. At least I know somebody's watching it, you know. But it is what it is, and everybody's asleep, right? It's 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. And so anyway, traveling down this rocky road. Traveling down this rocky road right here, it's kind of like it dried out because the wind got really strong, and so that's good, because it was a mess. There was so much water, and my microphone's working, right? Yeah, because earlier today I had to delete a video which had a lot of information of my experience when I walked through there, through Walmart. But yeah, I let them know. I said, this place needs a checkup from, I said, it's big time. I said, I walked into the store and it reeked and all this stuff. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Let me put my phone up here. There, that might get a better signal. I don't remember what I was talking about. Can somebody let me know what the hell I was talking about? I don't even remember. So it's midnight. When the person came in, it just yeah, the short-term memory shot. Oh yeah, I was talking about Papa Duck. Talking about Papa Duck on YouTube. So, you know, I guess they are sandboxing him, right? Because if I actually shared his video to my Facebook page, you would think that, you know, that his channel would be all over my algorithm feeds. Right? Your search feeds, whatever the hell they call them. And because I posted his thing on there like what 3 or 4 days ago, and now about 4 days later I see this next thing that he finally posted. So yeah, they're sandboxing him, but somehow or other it's getting out. And so, yeah, I went ahead and I posted it because it's the truth, and this is sociology. And this is what they don't want you to know. You think grown-ass men in our government, the head honcho for the FBI, the United States Attorney General, the Mayor Daley, the Mayor of Chicago, the Attorney General of Chicago, and the police chief, grown-ass freaking men, go and freaking gun down a 20-year-old kid in his sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, gun him down with freaking machine guns, 100 of them. How freaking pansy is that? Because what he was doing is the same thing that Papa Duck is doing right now. What he's telling you. This is what he was doing. This is what Fred Hampton was doing. There was Huey Newton, and there was Fred Hampton, and who else was a popular one in that political party? It was Huey Newton. Oh yeah, Aldrich Cleaver, Kwame Ture. I forgot what his other name is. Kwame Ture. Well, Kwame Ture was actually an instructor, right? And he was from Pagligado, whatever you call that thing. And then there was Aldrich Cleaver and a few other ones, but mainly it was Hampton and Huey Newton. And Huey Newton was here in Oakland, California. And you know, it was unbelievable what was going on back then. And well, Fred Hampton was over in Chicago, Illinois. And you know, just last month is the basically, I don't know what you call that, the anniversary. December 4 on a Thursday, 1968, I think it was. At early in the morning, they planned it and went over there and did that to an innocent person. And the trip part about it is that nobody even got a slap on the wrist. How freaking goofy is that? And the people don't do nothing? It's the same thing that's going on right now. With all this crazy crap that's going on, nobody does nothing. So that's why I say more power to them. It's going to take a freaking... They're going to have to drop the big one before these mofos get involved to do anything. They don't want to do it. They want other people to do it for them. They just want to sit home, freaking watching TV, having their lover come over, bringing the freaking bowl, bringing the Globee, raising hell, freaking gossiping, talking about people. And so that's why I'm, you know, go for it till they're gonna drop the freaking big one. Who cannot see that? And but still, nevertheless, I posted it, right? And so it's on my Facebook if you want to watch it. It's Papa Duck, and he's telling you straight what's going on. And what he's telling you, that's why they took Fred Hampton out, because he was trying to tell the people the same damn thing. All right? Alrighty, so hold on one second. This is pretty strange ass weather because it's been really, really cold, and I was sitting in there in that room, man. I was thinking it was freezing outside. Dude, this shit is making me sick, man. All that freaking mold and mildew and shit, and breathing in all that freaking what's it called? Mono dioxide or whatever it is. Carbon monoxide. So it's just I guess the lymphatic system is overloaded from it trying to kick all that garbage out, and just all kinds of shit about, but it's just on overload. And so man, it's jacked up. So, you know, your subconscious mind has a way of, you know, doing stuff, you know. It might get to the point where you actually have to do a fast, and that's rough, man. That's freaking rough. But I was thinking of doing that deworm, right? Take the deworm and take the freaking take the castor oil and you know, do a flush. But you know, right? The whole living situation. You know, I was telling you about the negative emotions, right? The mind and the body are inseparable. If the body is sick for whatever reason, the mind is going to be sick too. It's not going to be thinking right because they're inseparable, and vice versa. If the mind is sick, it's going to show up on the body. They're inseparable. I didn't make it up. I heard it from somebody else. And so I'm going to get out there and make a little fire. There's no light out here. The only light is right here, but it looks stupid because nobody else has a light. Why aren't these people shining their light anymore? But I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you this freaking skull. Okay? I'll show you the skull in a minute. Let me check my signal because I'm way out here. I know the signal doesn't work too good out here. I should have had that thing charging. When the battery wears out, then that's it. But make sure that you check out this thing on my Facebook. Okay, let me show you my Facebook. Okay, I don't know if that thing will tune in. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's my Facebook. Okay, and check out the stuff that I have posted. Here's Papa Duck. That's the dude I was just telling you about right now. Okay, what he says on here. What he says on here. Okay, that's Papa Duck, and then let me scroll up a little bit. Okay, this one right here. This one's gonna trip you out. Okay, I don't know if you're aware of this or not. That listing that I have right there. Okay, tap on that and read. Papa Duck is a video. It's YouTube, but this other thing I'm showing you, that's an article, and you can read this article, and it tells you that there is a cure for something. In this country, United States. In the United States, if you say that there is a cure for something, some ailment, they will arrest you and put you in prison. Okay? Did you know that? For saying that. So do you think these people would be saying this crap if it wasn't true? One of the biggest ailments that they are saying that they don't have a cure for it. You know, they just have management where you freaking do all this freaking crazy crap, right? Because they're the ones who caused it in the first place. But yet, nobody's saying a word about this. And it's right there, right in front of your face. It was a bitch to find it, to tell you the truth. I pulled it back out of obscurity because nobody else is touching it. Right? Nobody's talking about it. So I pulled obscurity. Kevin Trudeau is the one who let me know about it back in 2000 and or it was like 9, 10, or 11, 9, 10, and 11. He was talking about this when he used to have this big show on YouTube. And in 2014, they freaking went down there and freaking um body slammed his ass and freaking hauled his ass over into jail. And they threw him in prison for almost 10 years. Right? Because of this. This is their bread and butter. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the ones who threw this freaking shit, dude. They're like this with the mafia. Organized crime. So I'm going to take this out there and show you this thing, okay? Let me turn the light on it. If I can figure out how to turn the light on. And I'll show you this thing. This is the camera that doesn't record that good at night. Okay? It's not very illuminated like the other one. But where in the hell is it? How are you supposed to turn the light on? It doesn't have where to turn the light on. So, and I don't have my flashlight so that I can show you. Well, I can use the other phone maybe. Oh, okay, so let me go show it to you. Okay, let me pull this up. Hold on, I'm checking my signal. Got to go. Why? Where do you live at? Oh yeah, Pratt. Geronimo Pratt. Okay, hold on. Let me just, oh wait, I don't want to go left. Hold on. Okay. So let me show you this thing and you tell me if you think it's voodoo. I'm gonna try and take my phone out there because that's the only light I have. Maybe it'll work. You know, the signal probably crap out a little bit, but I got my flashlight inside and it's a nightmare to just go into the place there. It's all crazy. Let me show you this. So there's not very much light. I could probably turn my car around and shine the lights on it. Let me see there it is. Yeah, you won't be able to see it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Let me turn this thing around. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Can you see it? Looks freaking evil, doesn't it? I'll turn the car around and put the flashlight, put the lights on it. Does that look like voodoo to you? You know they use voodoo, right? Organized crime and let me turn this thing around. Organized crime and drug dealers, all that, they all use voodoo. You know that, right? Before they do their run, come on. Before they do a drug run, they use voodoo. It's like second nature for them, right? So, you know, the people came right by that fence right there, which they never do. Let's see if I can see where that damn thing's at. Is that it right there? Yeah, that should be enough light. Okay, because I can't go in there and get my flashlight. I'll just show you this real quick, okay? And you tell me if you think it's voodoo. Excuse me. I don't know if the phone work all the way out there. Got my main phone. It's shit. Look at that. Is that freaking crazy or what? You think that's because I posted? You think that's because I posted that? Huh? Because I barely posted it like yesterday. I just saw this today. You know, I'll tell you, there's been some sheep. Sheep have been coming over this year because I don't want the place to burn down, right? When the summer gets here, this shit is so freaking high, dude. You can't even mow these weeds. There's so many of them. So the sheep are eating the stuff. I told the dude, the sheep herder. There's a sheep herder around here. There's a couple of them. And I told him, you know, can you bring your sheep in here so they can, you know, eat all the weeds and grass and all that. So they've come around, you know, a few times during the week. But still, and there's a whole bunch of sheepdogs with it. But why would a sheepdog bring that over here? Those sheepdogs are not stupid. Those sheepdogs, they freaking know what you're thinking. They know what the sheep herder's thinking. So why would a sheepdog bring that damn thing over here? I think one of those cars that drove by this fence right here threw that thing over here. That's freaking voodoo. And either that or one of these crows, because the crows fly right over this house every year. Every year around this time, the winter time when it's cold, they fly. They fly from, I guess, from the mountains up there, and they fly right through here. And I guess they go over to some grains or mills. They fly out that way. So that's Hanford or Tulare, one or the other. I thought Tulare was straight down that way. But why would a bird do that? Why would a bird carry something? Why would a bird carry a freaking skull? The most likely thing is that a dog brought the skull, right? But those dogs are not dumb, so I don't think they did it. I think somebody freaking threw that crap here. There used to be a sheep. It was an animal. It was a big animal, and it wasn't 1 year ago, like I said earlier. It was 2 years ago. And because I found it out there in the wintertime when it was raining, and I was like, how in the hell am I going to get this thing out of here? Am I going to have to burn it or what? Right? Throw a whole bunch of, you know, like make a bonfire on top of it. Because I'm like, it's going to start stinking. And it was a huge animal. And I didn't know if it was a goat or a big dog. But it was blown up. You know, it was big. And so in the summertime, it started going down smaller. And it stunk out there. I remember I was trying to, you know, mow the lawn out through there. And then This summer went by, and now I walked out there. I was talking to somebody. Oh yeah, I was talking to the sheep herder because I was telling him, to do this stuff. This was just last week, and we were out there in the back because I was telling him, where the sheep can go and stuff like this to be careful around this or whatever. And I said, yeah, the thing, it died right there, and I looked, and it's completely gone. Not a trace of it. Last year in the summer, it was like flattened out, completely flat, and all you can see was a black spot right there, and you can still kind of stunk. There was a black spot, but this year, this winter now, when I was out there, you can't even see where it was. There was nothing there. So that can't be the skull from it. And besides that, I think that's too small to be the skull of that thing. That thing was huge. And there's no way one of those sheep is going to bring it over here. So I think I'll call my sister tomorrow and see what she thinks. But maybe it's a sign for me to move the hell out of here already. A lot of people, they'll get themselves a van until they can, get into housing, and so maybe that's what I should do. You know what's going on with the stock market, right? There's all kinds of stuff going on with the stock market. And so you heard about silver, right? Silver and gold, silver and gold. I got 2 silver bullion. Okay. I didn't buy the silver bullion. Does anybody say anything useful? This video is not going to be very long because these phones are going to, the battery's going to go out on them. And this car, I don't want, you have to turn the thing on, right? And wait, I have a portable juicer right here. So I see the signal's working good over there. I have one of these portable things. I wonder if it's still charged up. Who freaking knows, dude? I'll just use it. No, it's inside. So, I think it's voodoo. And what was I talking about? Oh, I forgot what the hell I was talking about. Oh, is anybody saying anything in the comments? Let me read the comments. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. We're back. There we go. What are we looking at? You tell me. You tell me. I sure as hell ain't picking that thing up. That's for damn sure. Yeah. So I guess what I'll do is go get my notes and get the good camera. The other camera, it takes better pictures at night. Um, um, and do the video. What do you say about that? I'll do the video. Also, I haven't seen Mr. Community 992. I haven't seen him do a live stream in a minute. Um, all these people who are doing live streams, there's so many who are so freaking goofy, dude. It's like you're in freaking, it's unbelievable. They have nothing to talk about. Isn't that crazy? Or maybe they know some stuff, but they're, I don't know. I don't know, but they look freaking crazy, dude. They look freaking like they don't have nothing to talk about. And you can tell when something is rehearsed. They're still on this crap like, oh, I want to say something impressive or look, like witty or right? And so they plan to say something like people can't freaking see if they don't know how to read your body language. They don't know what your trip is. I'm going to try and do this. So I don't want to do it from inside the house. I've been cooped up in there and it's freaking, I know there's mold and shit, right? And plus I use nutmeg to make this hot chocolate. And they say that crap will freaking make you hallucinate. Nutmeg and mace will make your ass freaking hallucinate. But I'm not hallucinating about that damn thing right there. So stay tuned a minute. Okay, I'm going to go grab the flashlight and grab my notes so that I can tell you a little bit of some of that stuff I was talking about. So hold on tight. I hope that 12 batteries, I hope that 12 volt battery is strong enough to sustain this thing. All right, it's a brand new battery. Finally, after years and years and years of putting it off, and this thing just got wet outside. After years and years and years of putting it off, man, I finally just bought the freaking battery. I got it on that Credit Karma, so you buy it in 3 payments. Makes it easier that way. Yeah, this thing just got all freaking soaking wet. It looks like glitters on there now. I didn't think it got that damn wet, but it sure as hell did. Okay, so the one that is messed up the more is explain how many 18650s. Okay, if there's any girls in here, they could give 2 shits about electric vehicles. So I'm not going to talk about that first, but I want to tell you something about electric vehicle that will make your freaking head spin. My assumption was correct. Okay? At least I think my assumption was correct. I'm losing a little bit of faith in what Tony Seba is saying about the food industry, agriculture, what he's saying is going to happen in the next 10 years. It's kind of difficult to believe it, right? But apparently, check this out. I think it's true. They're already using it. You don't think these mofos would freaking do shit like that? They've done so much difference. If you listen to Papa Duck, the person I just told you about, if you listen to Papa Duck, he'll tell you. He said it, not me, okay? McDonald's is already using it. Okay? He said it, not me. And you know what? I believe it. Because those hamburgers don't taste like hamburger. I mean, it doesn't have the same texture as a hamburger. They don't have any of the certain stuff that regular hamburger meat has. Anyhow, Tony Seba says that all that's coming to an end this decade. But it's kind of difficult to believe. But when you listen to Papa Duck says they're already using it. There's not enough cows to make all them freaking hamburgers that they're making right now. 21 million hamburgers. There's not enough cows to do that. They're using that freaking meat already. They have billion-dollar freaking scientists creating this stuff for 100 times cheaper than it is to process cattle and stuff. Okay, so is it true? He said it, not me. You know what? I think it is true. Because that hamburger, it does not behave the way hamburger does. And so let me tell you something. For the girls and the dudes, because everybody loves chickens, right? And so this is just one of the things that I want to tell you about. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but one of the things I want to tell you about are chickens. Okay, and I don't know if you know what's going on with the chickens. Okay, and well, um, it's horrendous. Okay, and I believe in karma. And so if you know something, you should speak up. Okay? Because if things were the other way around, you would want somebody to speak up for you. Right? And so it's like practice what you preach. And so this is why I'm speaking up about it. Okay? All this stuff that I have written down, I'm not going to be able to talk about this because this is just one thing. And this can go on for 20 minutes, right? So there's no way I'm going to be able to talk to you about all these different things. But the chickens, okay? And I can't even monitor myself because this battery's going to wear out. It probably won't even last. It probably won't even last for this, you know. But like I told you, I don't want to do it in there. And because it's terrible. And so, you know, I might have to move out of here. But back to the story. So the chickens, I think this is what all this vegetarian people, what it's about, because some people know what's going on in there. You haven't seen what's going on. I'm talking about all of them. The pork industry, the cattle industry, all these things that involve animals that you eat. And I think that's why these people are saying, you know, stop this stuff. And well, here it is, right? You've got, they're making meat now. So you don't have to worry about them, you know, doing stuff to the animals because their whole business is going under. So in that regard, yeah, it makes sense what Tony Seba is saying. He predicted all the stuff that was going to happen, right? The last 2 decades. And he's saying what's going to happen the next decade. In that regard, yes, it makes sense because God is bringing justice to this, and he's freaking bringing these freaking devils who are doing this to these animals, he's bringing them down, replacing it with the what people call the 3D printed stuff or whatever, right? That makes sense. Okay, so if you know what they're doing to these chickens, okay, the only people who could do something like this to these chickens are the fallen angels, the devils, the reptilian shapeshifters, who David Icke says are in the 4th dimension. They're spirits controlling things in this dimension. Okay, so that right there is like, what the hell? Well, I think there's some truth to that, right? Who knows? Who knows what the hell's going on? You know, there's stuff that's out there that, you know, that the animals can see. So, you know, regardless if it's true or not, look at look at the results. Look what's going on in our reality, in our material world. Okay? But just know that. And so you would have to be a freaking devil, a fallen angel to do this crap. Right? And I think this theory is correct that these entities, they're parasites. They're like a parasite. Hold on. Sorry. But they're like a parasite, right? They derive energy off of misery, because the emotions of misery, fear, well, actually it's fear, shame, and guilt are some of the lowest frequencies. And so I think they are deriving energy off of this, off all them chickens that they're freaking torturing. That vibration, they're deriving energy off of this. And just like they freaking make everybody break up with each other, right? From the misery and freaking all the negative emotions, jealousy, envy, they derive energy off this. Call it Lucifer, the devil, the evil one, or the reptilian shapeshifters who are in the fourth dimension, in a different dimension, spiritual realm, controlling things in the physical reality. And well, these things have vibrations. Okay? That's where they're deriving the energy, from these vibrations. And so this is karma. If you don't do anything about this, and you're feeding your kids eggs that are subjected to this horrendous freaking what they're doing to these animals, you let them eat those eggs, those vibrations are in the eggs. They get into you. Those vibrations get into you. And I think this is karma. So it would behoove you to lift a finger in defense of these helpless chickens by, when you go to the store, instead of buying these eggs that come from these chickens who are being freaking tortured, spend an extra $4 for a dozen of eggs and get the ones that are not freaking being subjected to this shit. And the only ones that I've saw in Walmart it comes in a black package, okay? And it says pasture-raised chickens, okay? I thought I was doing my part by buying the ones that said cage free, or cage free. It says cage free eggs on it. They were like $2 more. And I looked at some other ones and they were like $8 more. I was like, hell with that, right? And turns out yes, cage free is better. Cage free is better. But If you want that freaking chicken to have freedom, like you would want somebody to stick up for you to have freedom, then you have to buy the ones that say pasture raised. That's where the chicken is out in the freaking yard, right? Cage free does not mean that they're out in the yard. They're still in the hen house. Even though that's better than what they're subjecting them to right now. What they're doing right now is freaking evil like a mofo. It is freaking disgusting. So it would behoove you to spend some extra money, because when you spend that extra money and get the eggs that say pasture raised, those other mofos are going to go out of business. Okay? That's how you take them out. So I just thought I'd let you know that there's a difference between cage free and pasture raised. It's pasture raised is the ones that you want to get. And it comes in a black label. It's only one of them in there. All those other ones that come in the plastic, you're like, okay, well, you're making organic eggs, and I got them in my refrigerator, right? You're making organic eggs, but you're putting them in freaking plastic freaking cartons, right? So, anywho, so I wanted to share that with you. I wanted to do my part because I saw this crap. Okay? I saw what they're doing to these chickens. And I'm like, if you don't lift the finger, there's something called karma, right? Don't ask me to explain it, but it's true, you know. Practice what you preach. And so next time you go to Walmart, make sure you buy the ones that are pasture. I don't remember the brand name of it, but there's only one in there. It has a black freaking label across it. After I saw this on YouTube, I went in there and I checked the eggs that I bought. I said, I hope they say pasture raised. I went in there. Nope. Cage free. Even though cage free is better than what they're doing to them right now, what they're doing to them right now is it's so freaking unbelievable. What kind of a freaking monster could do this shit? A fallen angel. There's a lot of them. Right? So for the next subject, should I talk to you about the EVs? The EVs will run all the girls out, because girls could give two shits about a freaking EV, right? They could give two shits about a freaking EV. Okay, so let me tell you about the EV. Okay. An EV is, dude, I don't know what forces are on, but there's like a fucking major battle going on that does not want to allow me to get this freaking EV, because I'm going to build a freaking solar panel and show the people how to freaking charge this shit for free. Right? And so I had my chance to buy one. But I already told you, I ain't giving freaking that kind of cash to somebody out in a freaking parking lot that is freaking licensed. The name on his license doesn't match the freaking name on the freaking pink slip of the car you're trying to sell me. and you don't even remember how much you were asking to sell the car? I don't think so. Right? So, now, what was I going to talk about now? Okay, so girls don't want to hear about electric cars. Right? Girls don't want to hear about fucking electric cars. You know that girl who plays guitar on here on YouTube? Dude, I think she's freaking the dude off Guns N' Roses. She's kin to him. If not his daughter, she's kin to him. Right? She's a trip. But I just saw this one guy, and while we go off subject, I just saw this one guy, dude, is freaking crazy. Right? There's all kinds of people playing music on here now. Is freaking just driving Hollywood freaking bananas. But I'll get into all that later. Okay, so let me tell you about the electric vehicle. Okay, so you've watched Chris Payne made a documentary. You've watched Chris Payne's documentary, right? This documentary was called Who Killed the Electric Car? And it tells you all the stuff. And well, he didn't mention the electric car that was made by Toyota. Right? What was he thinking? I never knew this freaking car existed. Well, in 1996, which rings a bell for me, right? In 1996, Toyota made a freaking electric car. Right? And that car still works freaking money right now. Between 1996 and 2013, it's 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. Dude, I can't remember the exact numbers, okay? There was a first generation and a second generation. The first generation used this paddle that was like the electric car that was here in the United States. Mel Gibson used to have one, right? Everybody got pissed off because these people took their brand new cars, took them out to Arizona, and freaking smashed their asses and freaking chipped them up into a million freaking pieces because they don't want you to have any freaking electric vehicles, my friend. They had freaking 100,000 trillion gallons of freaking oil they wanted to sell you, right? And they knew that that would mean the end of it. And that's what's happening right now. And so this electric vehicle, yeah, Mel Gibson had one. I think what's his name? The dude Forrest Gump, dude, he had one, and they all wanted to keep their cars. You can watch this off the documentary, Who Killed the Electric Car. And they wouldn't let them keep their car. They went out there and took the freaking cars and took them out into the desert in Arizona, smashed them. Okay, that's a different story. Don't want to talk about all that stuff. Okay, so it used that same paddle. They don't use those paddles no more to charge the car. I'm just letting you know that, okay? And that was the first generation. The second generation, that's when they changed. I don't know what the hell kind of what they use now. I don't have an electric car. I don't care about the crap unless I actually can afford to buy one. Okay. But um anyhow, this electric car is still on the road right now. It's called a Toyota RAV4 EV. EV stands for electric vehicle. Okay. They started making them in 1996. They're still on the road right now. You can find them. They're for sale. Okay. But they use that paddle to charge it. So I sure as hell ain't getting one of them, right? I learned this from this guy who makes YouTubes down in San Bernardino. And so the second generation, okay, is the one I want. That's 2013. Sweet vehicle. Still freaking expensive. $10,000. $10,000 for a 2013 Toyota RAV4 EV. And it's a quality vehicle, right? It's a quality vehicle. Where was it manufactured? I don't know if it was in China or Japan. But we didn't even know these things existed, dude. The whole United States doesn't have a clue about these cars. They only sold them in California. Why? And so this is the trip thing, okay, that I'm going to show you right here. This is like the moment, okay? Okay. You remember when I used to brag about the battery technology, right? When I first saw these batteries, I told you I used to build parasite zappers. I used to be a manufacturer, right? In essence, that's what I was. I was a manufacturer. I was building these things like a manufacturer. I was like a one-man show, right? And getting it on with China, right? They were sending me stuff, and I actually had like $1,000, thousands of dollars of inventory to build this product to make tens of thousands of dollars. And they shut my ass down, okay? Because I was making these controversial things. And besides that, I was, um, living the vida loca. So it was good while it lasted. But anyhow, these products that I was making, I was using the battery technology that was available at the time. Started out with nickel cadmium, and then it went to nickel metal hydride. And when it went to nickel metal hydride, it was just like there was nothing in the right? Your 9-volt battery, there was nothing inside of it because the technology was going so fast already. That was 15 years ago, right? Now it's through the roof. And so whenever I'd do anything, I'd go talk to my parents and stuff, and I'd tell them about, where the technology is going and this, right? And and So all of a sudden, there's like this new battery, and it was lithium. It was a lithium battery, and it was really light, and it freaking it was like it wasn't like the other batteries, right? The other batteries, if you took a wire and you put them across the battery, I know I've told you this before, you'd be lucky if you could see a spark coming off it, right? And when I got this battery, I was doing the calculations and this stuff, and I was like, wait a minute. So I went over and I got a wire and I put it across the battery, and it freaking turned the wire red hot and melted it in half, right? I was just like, I've never seen that off of, a flashlight battery, basically. And I remember running over and talking to my dad, and I said, these batteries, they charge 10 times faster. They hold 10 times more energy, and they last forever. You put them if you put them in a flashlight, or it'll last forever. Well, they don't last forever. They only last a couple hours, but or maybe 1 hour. Um, but anyhow, this is the battery that I found, and they were dirt cheap. They were 99 cents. Okay. You'd order them off eBay. They were 99 cents. And this is one of them. This goes in. This is a flashlight battery. This is out of my flashlight. Okay. It's like in between a C and a D, right? It's like a C, actually. Actually, it looks to me like it looks like it's in between a double A and a C, right? But it's a little bit longer. And I noticed it just got quiet in here. It's a little bit longer. And the one manufacturer, I don't know who makes this one, but the one manufacturer who is making a lot of these that I got, get them for 99 cents with free shipping. That's like they're giving them to you. Okay. I guess they had to do that to get the technology out there. Once you see what's available, you will demand it, right? They're not stupid. And so this battery, I could run my whole freaking parasite zapper. Instead of using two freaking 9-volt batteries, I could use one freaking lithium battery, 3.7 volts, and run a little freaking integrated circuit board that I bought from them. Is already freaking designed. It had surface mount crap on it, dude, right? You could buy the freaking circuit board for cheaper than it would cost you to put these two freaking double 9-volt batteries in there. So I would just use this battery, and I ran a what the hell do you call them? Uh Voltage regulator? No, it was a booster, a bump. I think they call it a bump. There's the one that goes up is a bump, and the one that goes down is, I forget what the hell it is. But anyway, so I could use one freaking battery, dude, and that's exactly what I did. This mofo lasts a long time. And I don't remember how the hell I'd charge it. Right? Because basically it ran off. You wanted to run it off. We were going for 30 volts. Well, we're not here to talk about the parasite zapper and freaking the engineering crap, technology and shit. But so I was totally freaking stoked by this battery, right? It was like it just freaking increased in technology tenfold. And while this battery right here, Samsung makes some. I don't know who makes this one, and I can't read it right now anyway, if I wanted to, but it's probably Cattle, right? They're the only ones who make batteries, Cattle and BYD. But one of the manufacturers that makes these batteries was Samsung, right? A lot of my batteries say Samsung on it. I don't know who the hell what this one says on it. But this is the number on this battery is an 18650. Yeah, I know you can't see that well because it's dark in here. But this battery is a 18650. You get them for $1 out of China with free shipping. And the power on them is I think it's like 5.6 amps at 3.7. So if you do the math on that, shit, I don't have a calculator, but it would be 3.7 times the amperage, right? And the amps on this is freaking unbelievable. In the old days, the amperage on a battery would be like 200 milliamps, right? Which is, I don't know, dude. Right? You need 1,000 milliamps to make 1 amp. These things have 5,600 milliamps, right? You need a calculator to find out how much times more energy that is, okay? This is an 18650 battery. You can find them on eBay. Back in the day, they used to be 99 cents. This is what drives that freaking Toyota RAV4 EV. Okay? That is freaking crazy. They have 4,400 of these. Right? That's the battery that's in the car. They take 4,000 of these. Is that freaking crazy or what? I thought it was like 1,000, right? Right. I was talking to AI. And it's 4,400 18650 batteries that drive that car. That's freaking crazy. Right? I didn't know that. Because in the first electric car that was professionally manufactured, not the Toyota. The Toyota was made in 1996. The one that freaking mass produced a vehicle that went all across the United States. The Toyota was only available to California, right? Not that they couldn't manufacture that many, they weren't allowed to. Okay, but the one that went clear across the United States, Japanese car, right? Not Toyota, it was Nissan. They're both from Japan. The Nissan doesn't use these batteries. They don't use these little freaking flashlight batteries in their cars, man. Look at their batteries. They don't look anything like this. You know, when I found out that they actually used 4,000 of these, all they do is they freaking hook them all up together, right? They make a brick and then freaking put a strip across them. They hook them all up together, right? And hook them up in a certain, to get the voltage they want or whatever. But that's all it is. And that, I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And they freaking, They actually are dependable. Okay, so my theory was correct on that. It's just like the amplifiers. They have the technology. They have technology that'll blow this shit out of the water, dude. They're just making it look like they don't know. They're making it look like they're struggling. They already got the whole freaking thing figured out. Just like on the audio amplifiers, how they put hundreds and hundreds of different transistors in there, little small transistors like these little batteries. They can put one damn thing in there and it'll power that whole freaking thing, dude. They already know. Dude, I should have took automotive. I should have took automotive like my mentor told me. But I was very stupid. I was very stupid when I was a kid, dude. I had no idea. Right? Hey, I'm just glad. I can't believe I got my degree, to tell you the truth. You know, there was one counselor who was cheering me on and stuff. So I know if it wasn't for him, dude, they wouldn't have freaking given my degree. I graduated in June 10, 2000 and something. Okay. So you remember I was telling you that there's no fucking place where you can learn crypto, right? You remember I told you that the only place where you can learn how to do crypto is by Iman Shafi at Keystone Research Group. It's not true. They're teaching it at university. Right here in California, Berkeley. Free freaking classes. Anybody who's young, dude, anybody who's young, you know, if you got a game plan, then, you know, more power to you. But if you're young and struggling like I was when I had my business, I had a electronic repair shop. If you're young, dude, and you're looking for something to go into, what do you think the rich people do? Huh? They invest. And so to not take that into consideration as a source of income is absolutely asinine. and and they're offering it for free. Berkeley University here in California. You can learn crypto for free online. What kind of an idiot wouldn't freaking jump on that? They're teaching crypto at Berkeley. They're teaching it at MIT. They're teaching it at somewhere else. Go in and ask AI. They'll tell you where you can learn crypto at. I said, nobody on earth is teaching crypto except for Keystone Research Group, right? So I said, well, let me go in and check, make sure, so I don't sound stupid, right? And I asked AI, and freaking AI came back and said, yeah, you can learn all this shit. You can learn it for free. They'll teach you all this stuff. And well, me being who I was when I was in college, I was taking this class. It was called Computer Information Systems. So it was CIS 7 here at West Hills College. Computer Information Systems, and they would teach you, typewriting. You could take 10 key, and you could take. Did they teach us typewriting or not? I don't remember. Yeah, I did. I think it was. But anyways, you take typing, and then you can take 10 key, which 10 key is absolutely awesome, right? And but anyhow, they taught us computer information systems, and in here they taught you Excel, Word, Publisher, and I don't remember the other one, right? I'm pretty sure there's 4 different ones. But I learned Word. That's the number 1, right? Word, and then Publisher was really cool, right? So I learned Publisher, and then there's supposed to be Access, right? Access and Excel, and I don't know what the hell Excel is about, but Access, I don't know which one is which, right? But it's the one that you can make spreadsheets with it, and I didn't freaking, I don't know. I was doing it a little bit, but I think freaking dude, I think I freaking just, I just freaking weaseled my way out of that one, which is stupid because there's been a few times that I've actually need that right now because I don't know how to do that. I'm actually drawing my own freaking chart with the pen and freaking ruler, right? I had to draw my own chart. But in retrospect, it's pretty good because it takes so long that you take time to see what's really going on in there. And in doing so, I realize that these people are full of shit, right? They're so full of shit, dude. They're not telling the people nothing, dude, right? They don't want you to know. What do you think the billionaires are doing? Anywho, so I think that's going to be the last subject, people. Next time when I go live, I'm going to be talking about how all you people here locally around me, okay, probably goes for everybody across the United States and Mexico. I don't know what's going on in Mexico, okay, but for everybody here in the United States, all your moms, your dads, your grandpas, your uncles, your siblings, all these people have been subjected to this shit that the people are just barely starting to realize. And it's going on right now, but it's about to freaking blown out the water when the people have their aha moment. Okay? All your loved ones, your parents, your mom, your dad, your uncles, your aunts, were all subjected to this shit that they were doing to them. All of the tortillas that you ate, all of the sopapillas, however good they tasted, what they were doing to you and all of your loved ones, all your family, your siblings, your brothers, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, is freaking criminal. And they've freaking suffered from all kinds of different freaking ailments because of this freaking shit that's still going on right now. The people are just barely starting to scratch the surface and find out about this shit that's going on. And that's the tortillas that you've been eating. and the sopapillas and the bread, anything that uses wheat, okay? It's freaking crap shit freaking wheat. They even spray the shit with freaking paraquat. Well, it's not actually paraquat. They spray the shit with, it's like Agent Orange. You know how freaking nasty that shit is? It's almost exactly like Agent Orange. It's freaking Roundup. They spray the freaking wheat with this shit right before they send it out to be processed into freaking flour to make tortillas and bread and all this shit, right? There are people getting good shit, but it's not you. More than likely, it's not you. Okay? And so once the people find out, the people who are actually making good freaking wheat in the old days, thousands of years ago, people used to live on this stuff because it's so nutrient rich. And these devils, that's the number one they attack. They take everything that was good in it, which is 40 of the 44 nutrients that you need, and they freaking took every last one of them out and left you with dog shit, glue, and freaking starch. It's freaking absolutely criminal, and they've subjected all of your loved ones to this shit for hundreds, for however many years, decades. They've been doing this shit with bleached, fucking enriched flour, right? That's the name of it. Enriched, bleached flour. And so when the people realize this, people are going to start to get better, right? This is what's effing them up. That's the number one thing. They say it's high fructose corn syrup, and they're freaking giving you enough sugar to fucking kill an elephant, right? But this is one of them. This is one of them because I don't know any other thing that you eat that has, people around the world eat bread. That's why they did this shit, because they're freaking devils. Okay? And so I just want to let you know that there's places. One's in Washington, one's in like North Dakota or South Dakota, and other places who actually grow freaking good wheat that they don't freaking spray fucking paraquat on before they send it out to be milled. They're spraying this shit with freaking Roundup before they send it out to you. How freaking disgusting is that? Before they send it out to you and take all the good shit out of it, they just leave you with freaking glue and freaking starch and freaking traces of freaking Roundup. That's freaking criminal. Why do you think they don't allow this shit in freaking other countries? You can't ship it to freaking Europe unless it says hazardous freaking toxic fucking waste. Right? Okay, so that's all I've got to talk to you tonight. Yeah, okie dokie. All right, now I'll talk to you about some other stuff later. I'm going to talk to you about Monopoly. Yeah, I don't even know what my freaking notes mean, but I've still got a few other keeping tabs on the whistleblowers. Yeah, shit, dude. I don't even know what my what all this stuff is about. But anyhow, I told you about those two things. And that's not everything. What I told you, there's still something more to it, but I don't remember exactly what it is. But it has to do with the extraterrestrials lowering the vibration, especially with the poor people, you know, and the eggs, the karma that's going on with the it's like the double whammy. What's going on with the chickens and the eggs, and the people who don't give a shit about the chickens and they're eating the eggs, those vibrations are going into them, and these ETs are just fucking milking the system off it because they're killing two birds with one stone. They're getting all these freaking negative vibrations off the chickens, which they're treating like freaking unbelievable, and they're effing your ass up at the same time, so they're drawing even more energy from it. Okay? This is the reptilian shapeshifter theory. Okay? And so stay tuned for more stuff. And you know the drill, right? You know the drill. I'm going to go out here and make a fire. I just wanted to show you that thing, what's going on, right? Because I put that video up from Dr. Young Soo. Okay? I think it's Young Soo. YOUNGSOO. One word. Young Soo Kim. He's a scholar or whatever, right? And he's working at the top deals and everything. And they came out with a cure. But nobody knows about it. Right? So I pulled it out of obscurity because nobody's talking about it. Okay? I told you. I found out about it from Kevin Trudeau. Kevin Trudeau told the people about it back in 2011, and then in 2014 they freaking threw his ass in jail, right? And so a lot of people don't know this crap, but I pulled it out of obscurity because I'm like, why, you whistleblower motherfuckers, right? I'm keeping tabs on the freaking whistleblowers, right? I'm letting you know what's going on with the whistleblowers. None of you mofos are mentioning a word about it. So I went in and I freaking dug around. Finally, I found it. They were hiding it like a motherfucker. And I found it. And I freaking put it up on my Facebook so that you can see it. That there is a cure. Okay? For something that I can't say. It's on my Facebook and you'll see what the cure is for. Okay? I put this on my Facebook and now a fucking skull shows up in my yard. Right? Who would go through that freaking effort? Okay. So anyway, that's all I've got for tonight, my friends. And I feel a little bit better now that I've, talked to you about this. And so please, when you go down to buy some eggs, put your vote in by spending the extra $4 and buy the eggs that say pasture raised freaking eggs, for goodness sakes. Stop this crap that they're doing to the chickens. And later on, we'll start talking about the other animals that they're doing stuff to. All righty then.